if you feel with meditation that you've progressed, but yet some of those feelings might still be there, whether it's jealousy or anger, does that mean that you're not meditating enough a day, or you need to spend more time meditating?
It's just a matter of getting rid of the collected memories. The data is stored here. Take the computer model. You put something on the disk, and then you're going to go and retrieve it. And then you're going to review it and discard it. In meditation, that's what we do. The memories come up. On the visual cortex, there is a certain image going on. Or your eyes are closed, everything is dark, and a thought pops up from nowhere. Instead of saying, what the hell? Where did this come from? I don't like it. That's not what a meditator does. A meditator says, another memory. Okay. Thank you. Go away. And keeps on sending. More the data, more the sending out. How long it takes to clear a certain file, certain storage, certain folder depends upon how much information you have collected. So one should never measure it by the amount of time invested in it. One should only focus on, are there any more thoughts in this? If not, good, I'm on to the next one. How much time I have spent in cleaning this particular folder is not the issue at all, because that's going to be individual, separate for every single one of us. So in particular folder, if you spend only 2 times of meditation and she looks at the first time and within 5 minutes she's done, you can't say I'm bad and she's good. You have more information to take care of in that area. In some areas she might have more than you do. So meditation is a process of bringing back the memories, owning them, not judging them, not putting a new label, good or bad, desired or not desired, but just saying, because I am sitting all by myself here, whatever I'm thinking or whatever is projecting on my visual cortex, they are all mine. From this life, from any life, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not going to analyze it. When did this happen? If you sit down, when did this happen? It's going to become your new memory with a new date and stamp. Instead of getting rid of it, you renewed it. Isn't it? If we take a file, if we don't do anything to the file but just say save, doesn't the computer put a new date and stamp? Date and time stamp? That you access this file and you saved it. The brain works the same way to the memories. So don't save it with a new date and time stamp. Just say, go away. I don't need you. Yeah, I was like that once upon a time. I accept. What do you mean you accept? I accept my humanity. I have made mistakes, made wrong choices, wrong judgments. Fine. That's gone. You go to. Never ever stamp yourself in meditation. How good I am with respect to anybody else. Never compare. That will be very dangerous. Anything else?
Mr. Singh, you mentioned ego is the mother of all these jealousy and greed.
Yes.
So if there is no ego, could be somebody have these things?
Ego is the starting point of the life. I am. Who are you? I. The original sin of all humans. When the Bible said we are all born sinners, it was not saying because Eve ate the apple, that's why we are all sinners. Absolutely wrong propaganda. I cannot be held responsible for what Eve did or not do. That's not the law of nature. I have to be held accountable for what I did. What did I do? When I was born, I accepted a label that my father and mother gave me. That created my I, the very first I. That is my sin. And now, having grown up and understood that the name is just a label, I still say, don't you know who I am? Who you are talking to? That is the most egotistical statement a human can make to another human. Who do you think I am? I belong to so and so family. I, the original sin. All humans are born sinners and they can get out of their sin by recognizing I don't exist separate from you. You are the ocean, I am the wave. A wave on the ocean, even though appears to be different, and we call it different, right? We call one a wave, the other an ocean. Can the wave exist without the ocean? But it keeps on saying, I am wave, come ride me. Right? All these daredevils who go to the ocean looking for the highest possible wave to ride on their skating boards. That is the highest declaration of I by the wave. And a human comes and says, you are not bigger than me, I'll conquer you. I'm going to ride you. Two egos bouncing against each other. Wave saying, I am that I am, and the man says, hold it right there. I'm going to come right on top of your head. And I'm going to slide all over your body and you're not going to be able to do anything with me. Both forgetting that only ocean exists. The waves come and go. Human has forgotten he exists. Human come and go. They are wave on the ocean. But they keep on insisting, no, I am that I am, and I will continue trying to prove it. If not proven here, I will do it here, I will do it here. Every possible way, I am going to assert I am. Realization of this eternal fact start the journey toward Him in the inside. Denial of this fact takes you out in the world where you are competing for every dollar, for every attention, for every promotion, for every partner of the opposite sex. All the competition goes on because you are running out, trying to prove I am. So when we go out to the world and say I am, and somebody says, okay, who are you? We put a piece of paper and say, this is my resume. And they look and say, hey, very impressive. My ego is stroked even more. Very impressive. Oh, but by the way, you are too qualified for us. Immediately the balloon is burst. Wait a minute. For 6 months of my landing in this country, I was either too qualified or not qualified enough to get a job in this country, even as a salesman or anything. No matter where I went, because I am a qualified engineer, I am too qualified, or no, you don't have any industry experience you want to work in, we can hire. And my friends started getting very nervous because I'm borrowing and eating and borrowing and eating, and they say, you are not getting a job because you are wearing the turban. So we would suggest you clean shave, take off your turban, and you'll get the job. And I said, hold it right there. If I have something to sell, there is a customer out there. It's a question of finding it. And I know I have something to sell. What do you have to sell? My favorite statement used to be, I have 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and they coordinate beautifully. And my mouth knows how to shut when it needs to. Someone is out there who needs these qualities. Because the outer world needs an eye defined precisely. The inner world needs eye to disappear completely. The goals are opposite to each other. It's your choice, freedom of choice. Do you want? Does it mean you run away from the world? No. Go out in the world with a full awareness, which is, I is just a wave with respect to the ocean. I better know my place. I better have some humility. I better manage my arrogance. My very first year of review by my manager was, he talks in a condescending mode to the rest of the entire labor force. I kept on struggling. How do you? No, your way of communication is very condescending. But I don't even know the meaning of condescending. I don't know how to be condescending. Say, no, you are. Would you believe it took me 25 years to understand the meaning of condescending? Why would the American labor force look at me and say, you're talking to me in a condescending tone, which is typical Indian macho attitude, manly attitude. I'm a man, I'm educated. I deserve some respect from you. I never called any one of my subordinates, sir. I would call them just like I used to call them. Come here. And say, what do you mean this? I just called you, come here. And they will go to my manager and complain. He's showing us the hand. And I didn't know what it means. When I started studying the American culture, first time I understood that this or that was used by the cotton growers, those farm owners, when they used to call their black slaves, come here boy. I never related to that because I didn't know American history. For me it was very common. And my ego was, right in here because I said, I am going to run a corporation in this country before I die. That was how big the I was. It was all going out all the time. Till I woke up to this fact. I'm certainly not the smartest or the brilliant or the brightest. What matters with me? I need to surrender my ego to him. But it is a conscientious choice, my brother. It's not, nobody's going to come and twist your arm. Quraysh, you better learn some humility. Nobody's going to tell you that. You have to make that choice. I better learn some humility. And the best teacher for a man to learn humility is his wife. There is no better teacher for a man to be humble. No other place. Not because you need the physical favor from her. No. Because that is no favor. She needs you physically just as much you need her. Where is the favor? That is stupidity. Humility to the wife is because physically she cannot impose that on you. And you can impose yourself physically on her. The test of true humility is that you are a naughty boy and you can beat everybody in your class, yet you protect everybody else. That's a true humility. That's a true bravery. If you are 300-pounder and you are beating everybody and you say, I'm a brave? No, you are not brave. You are just a bully. The bravery is when you are 50-pounder and telling the 300-pounder, you better not touch her. What do you mean? I am standing right in the middle of her and you. Now that's bravery. But if you are yourself a 400-pounder and he's only 30 and say, I am going to stand in front of you all, big deal. I say, thank you, I'm not ever touching her. That's not your bravery, you just scare the hell out of him. The humility is not because your boss says, Quraysh, when is the report of the day? Yes sir, I'm so late a little bit. Bring in 5 minutes. That's not humility. The humility is you come home and before anybody says, honey, sorry I'm late today. And she says, I understand, it's business world, you get delayed. That's okay. Let's have dinner. That's the relationship for humility. But it's a conscientious choice. If you want to learn humility, learn to deal with your spouse in a loving fashion at every possible chance. And the nature will help you. And you'll feel good. And the spouse will say, there's something different today about you. I never seen this side. You're glowing. Now you are bringing that heaven right inside your house. The house that you are looking for in the outside world doesn't exist. It is here. Now, within your hands, already given to you, with the choice. What do you want? Hell? Ready-made. Heaven? Ready-made. Right now, in this house. Make a call. One understanding, compassionate response to the other will melt all the complaints and anger, no matter how far the reason. One defensive retort back. What do you mean? I have been slaving all day here, cooking for you, and you come here and tell me I can't eat today because I ate outside? Here is the plate. Bam! Remember that Godfather scene? Have you seen Godfather 1? Remember what that she does? When he comes on and says, I'm not going to eat. She throws and breaks every single plate in the house. And all he said was, I don't want to eat. And had this been, okay, that's all right. I made it today, you don't want to eat, we'll eat tomorrow. I'll pack it up, put it in the fridge. No need to get angry. Things happen. You got caught by the friends, they took you for a dinner and a drink, that's all right. Ego needs to be managed at every single event of the life. If your ego is managed and you are aware, you have just created a heaven. If the ego gets out of hand, you won't have to tell anybody else. Please don't invite us. I'm sorry. There's too much tension in the house. Where is the tension? The air permeates that tension. You can cut it with a knife. We have a saying in India, Kale kalandar varse ta kadeon pani nasse. Literally means, if there is a continuous tension in a household, the water in your jug will run away from the house. The water in your wooden pot will dry up. It's too much heat here. Much less the friends or relatives or anything. The hell and heaven are right here. And within our control. Don't need to go to a God. Don't need to look for it. Just to manage your ego. That's it. Anything else?
Mr. Singh, in spirituality there is no ego. So if somebody become spirituality, so there is no jealousy or greed in their life.
Quraysh, so long there is a urge to feel something inside. So long there is an urge. Even to feel, I have no jealousy. I have no anger. Who is saying that?
Ego.
That observer still exists. Because if you reach that stage, because ego is not something that you can go to a doctor and say, cut 2 inches from here and pull the ego out. You can't say that. It is a construct. It is a belief system. And that belief says, I am and you are. It draws that boundary between the two. The wave tells the ocean, I am and you are. A drop tells the ocean, I am a drop, you are a ocean. Look at me. I may be tiny, but I am also water. You are also water. So what's the difference? That thing which is asking, what is the difference, is the ego. That which is actually giving a very solid argument. Wave can say, I am made of water. Ocean, you are made of water. What's the difference? And the ocean says, the difference is, I can exist without you. You cannot exist without me. The creator can exist without his creation. The creation cannot exist without the creator. When that realization goes deep into the consciousness, then all sensations start subsiding as the wave is slowly dying down. Anything else?
You just reminded me when you said earlier that this guy wouldn't take the money and put it to a server or under the mattress. There was this guy they called Hazrat Sahib. They were close to our house, and people were coming from all over the country to go and get their blessing. But either they brought like sheep and goat, but mostly money. And this is the people, the poor people, they worked for a year and then got part of their money. And then it was a big thing that Hazrat Sahib will not touch the money, will not accept the money, but they are putting under his mattress. It was a big deal that, and we as kids like, wow, that's such a nice guy. So now you just reminded me of that. He was taking the money later on, counted. Wow.
That account is done after the fact.
Yeah.
They do collect and they do count, and how much gathering was there, how much collection was there, what do we need to do to now improve upon our target. I mean, it is so insane when you